Hello and welcome back to Visit Fylde Coast. What can I say? This is not clickbait, and this is actually bad news. So in return, you can repay me by subscribing to Visit Fylde Coast if you're new here, if you've come for what you thought might be sensational. And if you're not already subscribed, sign up for your Visit Fylde Coast email newsletter. So you can get that at visitfyldecoast.info/newsletter. So what's my bad news? Well, as I said, it's definitely not clickbait. It's definitely not clickbait, and I'm doing this one on my own today because we've got some bad news from Rabbit Towers, I'm afraid. So if you've been with us for a while, you'll know that my two T-boys have featured frequently in videos that we've done. They've been the T-boys from Road 2 if you've been with us a really long time. So my dad is known as T-boy because he always makes the tea, and Kevin is known as T-boy in training because he very, very rarely makes tea. Anyway, nothing to do with T-boy in training. T-boy, my dad, is in the wars again, I'm afraid. You'll remember that last year just after Christmas, excuse me, just after Christmas, he started a round of radiotherapy for prostate cancer. No symptoms, no nothing. It had been identified the previous summer, and he went straight on to hormone treatment. And then after Christmas, after the hormone treatment had started to work, after Christmas he went on to radiotherapy. So he went to Preston every day for a month, which seems like ages ago now, absolutely ages ago. And that did the trick. That pretty much sorted the prostate cancer out. His PSA was down to 0.00 nothing. Happy days, all sorted, all done. Just one thing I will say there though, chaps, if you're of a certain age, if you're kind of 55, 60 plus, or if you've got symptoms and you're younger, please get your PSA checked. He had absolutely no symptoms at all, so it would have just been completely missed and overlooked. So anyway, life went on and everything became back to normal for us, as normal as we ever get. And then this summer, he fainted. Now that's not unusual in itself because old T-boy, and I'm a bit like that, old T-boy has a penchant for fainting. He goes over very easily. He doesn't generally drink enough. He gets hungry and bang, down he goes. So anyway, this particular day we've been in our back garden, and Kevin and I were doing some gardening, and he was sat on the bench watching us. And I'd come in to get the dinner ready. It was a Saturday lunchtime, and he came staggering through the back door while I'm stood at the worktop in the kitchen saying, "Oh, I feel really thin," sort of slithering down the door. So I fetched a chair, sat him down, and did the usual kind of, drink of water, sugar lump type thing. And then laid him flat and took his blood pressure, which was absolutely as low gets. I can't remember the number, but very, very, very low. So I said, well, you really didn't ought to be taking blood pressure tablets because this is happening frequently. Your blood pressure's low all the time. We'll check with the doctors. After the bank holiday weekend, because this was bank holiday Saturday. So on the Tuesday, I rang the doctors and asked them whether or not he could stop taking his blood pressure tablets. And they said, never mind that's far too low. We need to find out why. So they started doing tests and investigating it, and started off with the blood test. And the blood test revealed that he was really, really severely anemic. So, of course, the next question is, why are you anemic? And does that mean that you're bleeding somewhere that you shouldn't be bleeding? So they had him back in and did the usual, and then they said, well, you're on blood thinners because he has AF as well, atrial fibrillation. You're on blood thinners, so if you've got a little bit of bleeding, it's going to make it worse. So stop taking your blood thinners and we'll retest you and we'll send you for an iron transfusion. Tablets are too slow, you need a transfusion. So they did another blood test. So his haemoglobin had dropped originally to 85, and by the next one it had dropped to 81, which is getting kind of critical. So off they went to the 2-week cancer pathway diagnosis thing, and started investigating his gastrointestinal tract for whether or not he'd got anything wrong. So they asked him to have a gastroscopy and a colonoscopy. And I don't know whether anybody's ever had one, but the stuff that they give you to clear your digestive system out is brutal. Anyway, it made him really poorly. So he abandoned the idea of the colonoscopy, but he'd already, at this point, had a CT scan. Anyway, to cut a long story short, he needed to have a gastroscopy, so he went and had that done. And the gastroscopy and the CT scan both confirmed that, in fact, he'd actually got stomach cancer. So there you have it. That's where we're up to. So, as you can imagine, we're all, well, not amused. We're not happy. We're not amused about that. So he's going to see the oncologist on Monday. They've mooted the idea of surgery, but he's turned that down because I don't know whether you know anything about it, but it's a huge, massive operation, and he's not a particularly physically fit person. I mean, he's 81. He's 81. He's already had cancer once. He's never been athletic. So he's turned that down and told him no. So he's going to see the oncologist on Monday and see what they have to say to him. So hopefully they'll be able to give him chemotherapy. He can't have radiotherapy again because it's the wrong type of tumour to respond to it. So they're going to hopefully be able to do chemo, and then it will keep it under control and stop it from spreading too quickly. So the reason I'm telling you all this is because obviously my priority is going to be at home for the foreseeable future. So at the moment he's all right on himself. He feels fine, and yesterday we went to the Lake District and is fine to go out and do stuff, and is eating not quite normally but quite well. So the videos are going to be quite thin on the ground, and my priority will be what's going off at home. So I thought I needed to tell you. I needed to tell you because obviously, there's loads of you that have been watching for a long time. You've been with us through all the ups and all the downs, and I can't just disappear. You're going to wonder what on earth I'm playing at. So we'll do what you've got to do, and we'll do what you do with everything else, and we'll just get on with it and face it. And hopefully they'll be able to treat it, and he'll be able to be okay for quite some time to come. So that's my bad news. So as you can see, it's not clickbait. It's not a sensational headline to get everybody to watch it. It genuinely is bad news. So that's that. But thank you for watching. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for just all being lovely, because you always are. You're a lovely bunch of viewers, and I meet loads of you around and about when I'm in Blackpool and Cleveland and what have you, and you're a lovely bunch of people, so your support means a lot to all of us. And until next time, we'll see you later. I'll keep giving you updates, just in case you're wondering. I'll keep, when I do my sort of wandering about in Blackpool and this week in videos, I'll keep updating you and letting you know how it is and how it's going on. And we'll keep our fingers crossed. And until next time, we'll see you later. Bye for now.